you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm coming.
This meeting is now streaming live on Facebook.
Okay, so we are live now. Welcome everyone. Girl Scouts Carolina's Peaks to Piedmont Council. We are 40 counties located in Western North Carolina, and we have been committed to making sure that even though we are not meeting face to face, that we still have virtual Girl Scouts because even though everything else is closed, Girl Scouts is not canceled. So thank you all for joining in with us. My name is Crystal Taylor. I am the Troop Experience Manager working out of Gastonia, and I'm excited to be your host today as we are joined with VIParties as they're going to share with us some Mother's Day do-it-yourself craft ideas, and we're going to just have a great time today. So if you have a father in your life that needs to see this, make sure you go ahead and tag them so that they can take advantage of this great opportunity to still make sure that mother and their lives are appreciated. Or grab the girls, if you're a mother, it's fine. Go ahead and grab all the children together because we're going to show you some amazing Mother's Day crafts that you can make from home with some supplies. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Michelle. Michelle is the hostess with the mostest, the creative extraordinaire, and everything else to introduce VIParties, what they have to offer, and our activity for today. So Michelle, I'm going to hand it over to you now.
All right. Well, hello, everyone. Welcome to our virtual VIParties. Is everything you guys can see and hear me fine? Hopefully, Crystal will let me know. I have my son here, Jared, and Jared is going to help me out. And as Crystal identified, since Mother's Day is just 7 days from now, this is a great opportunity to do some Mother's Day DIY gift making so that you can still make sure mom gets something special from you. And there's nothing moms appreciate more than something made by their child. But I will say that this is definitely a gift that it could be shared. So dads feel comfortable taking part in this because you guys will probably enjoy it too. I've been telling my husband for the last couple of weeks he needs to do the foot soak. So trust me when I say this is something for everyone. I wanted to kind of show you guys just, and hopefully you all can see it, but this is kind of a sample. This is a larger jar and a larger sample. But you see, we've already decorated the jar, and inside the jar, we filled it with the green tea foot soak. So this is what we're gonna do today. The first thing we're gonna do though is start with our jars. So if you got your supply list, you should have 2 small jars. And we're gonna take our jars, and the first thing we're gonna do is actually clean them. So I'm gonna grab some nail polish remover, and I have some little cotton swab here that I'm going to take the nail polish remover and just clean the jar to remove all of any grease, any kind of dirt that's on it. The nail polish will stick better if you've kind of cleaned off your jar. So if you want to just give your jar a rub down. And while I'm doing this, I'm going to ask Jarrett to grab the water over there and to pour the warm water in our plastic tub. If you have a wide tub, you see I make use of things. What more we can recycle and use things that are recyclable, the better. The jars are old preserve jars that we've had, jelly preserves or jams or stuff in. So you got your jars that you can upcycle, recycle. Old Chinese food containers are wonderful to use for crafts. So we're going to take this and we're going to put some water in it. And we're going to make sure we're going to fill this all the way up. This is just warm water. I haven't really heated it up too much. I just want it just warm. But you're going to fill your container to probably that first lid, to that first rim to get it nice and full. And just put your water over to the side for a minute. So I've cleaned my first jar. Here, let me give me a second one. I'm going to clean my second jar. And again, get my jars nice and clean. You want to rub that one for me? Okay. So while he's cleaning that second one, we're going to make our first decorations for our first jar. So if you want to take out, and this is what they call marbling a glass jar, but we're just using regular old fingernail polish. Now, I actually did this a couple of times because not all nail polish works the same. So if you have nail polish, I think the ones that I know I ran into issues with are the ones I actually have at VIParties, which are really specialized for children. They don't have kind of some of the same chemicals in them. Those won't quite work as well because they'll hit the water and they'll go right to the bottom of the water, and that's not what you want. You got to put this in, when you pour it in there, you want to try and move it from putting the fingernail polish in to putting your jar in as fast as you can, because it's going to sink to the bottom and you want to get it on the top because that's where we're going to take it from. So just in case, if your nail polish doesn't work, that's kind of why. But if you have just regular traditional nail polish, should not be a problem. So you're going to take your nail polish, open it up. The nail polish, Jared, you want to hold this container up for me just a little bit so everyone can see. I don't know if you guys can see really well. It's going to be hard to do it with water in it, but we're going to try and raise it up some. So Crystal, you let me know when you guys
Yes,
can.
we can
All
see
right,
that great. Thank you.
just pour the nail polish, just pour some of it into the top. Just pour it around, not a lot. Put it back down, put it back down, put it back down, put it back down, put it back down. There you go. Go ahead, go ahead, go ahead. You're good. Put it back down, right? You guys won't have these issues because you're not raising it up. And then you're going to take your jar, put it in your hands like this, and you're just going to roll it right on the top of your nail polish. Just roll it around as much as you want. You can move it around some, but if you roll it around, and what you'll find is a jar that looks like that. Right?
Does it matter how much nail polish we put in the water?
Not really, because like I did it and it took a lot of the nail polish, but if you want it just a little bit amount, that's fine. You can actually do this where you can move the nail polish around and swirl it, but when you're trying to marble, it's best not to do too much swirling of it. And the other great thing about it is that once you get it like this and it dries a little bit, you can always clean it up with nail polish remover, right? So you'll see before we're finished, I'm going to take it off of here and take it off the bottom, but you'll have it just like that, right? And so you're going to then take your jar, and if you've got some paper towels, that was part of the supplies, just turn it upside down and sit it over to the side for it to dry. All right. It's going to take about 10-15 minutes to dry for your nail polish to dry, but hopefully it'll be dry by the time we get to the final part of it.
And how do we do multiple colors?
So I'm about to show you.
Okay. Getting ahead. I'm sorry.
No, that's good. It's good. Because for the next one, we're going to do multiple colors. But the first thing we're going to do so that we don't have to waste any water is if you've got just kind of a toothpick or that, I think I called it a stirring stick or anything like that. If you've got one of those and you pull it around in your water and just move it around in your water, any nail polish that's on the top, if it's sank to the bottom, don't worry about it because it's going to just dry. But any nail polish that's still on the top will actually come off. I actually captured almost all of my nail polish that was on the top, but I just want to show you guys what it'll look like. So I'm just going to pour a little bit more in just for a second. So I poured it in. It's on the top. It's kind of dissolved a little bit. You take that stick and you move it around in your water, you actually will pull the nail polish right off. All right. Once you do that, if you go around, just keep going around until you get all of that nail polish, all that extra nail polish off. If you need another toothpick or something, you can use that. But if you get that nail polish off, then you can reuse this water for the next colors. Okay. So it'll just grab it around. When it does, I tend to put it on my little stick here that I have, and I'm good, right? And I'm going to clean my hands of that particular color, make it very easy to clean because I got my nail polish remover right there, right? And I can take it off of my fingers and we can go on to the next set of colors. So with the next set of colors, I actually have 3 different colors that we've got, and we're going to put all 3 of these in the water this time. So you can start out with whatever color you want. And again, you want to try and do it as quickly as you can. Pour first color around, the top back on, or second color around. And we're going to go with that third color. My third color has a little glitter in it, which is a little interesting. Some of that's going to stay on the top and some of that might go to the bottom, but I'm going to move it around. Again, you can swirl it if you want. I'm not going to. I'm just going to now take my glass and I'm going to roll my glass on the top of that as much as I want to. Get it around, get it around, get it around. And you will see I've now got a glass that, Crystal, has multiple colors in it.
Nice. I love it.
So that's the second one we're going to put to the side. But again, don't worry about it's not perfect. Quite honestly, the way you do it and the fact that it's going to be different based on how people pour and everything means that everyone you do is going to be unique. So do not worry, oh, it didn't come out. There's no right or wrong as to how it can come out. And trust me, mom's going to love it. It's going to look really neat when it dries. So you're going to take that one and you're going to, again, turn it over, put it on the side, let that dry. You can grab your stick and again, put it through the water and you'll be able to capture all that extra nail polish before you pour your water out. So it's a good way to kind of capture it all up. And then you should be good with your water. Again, anything that fell down to the bottom, trust me, has already dried. So that's one reason why you want to use a bowl that you don't mind getting dirty. You can reuse it as you want to make other things. So we're going to sit this over to the side now. I'll put this over there. Slide it over so we don't get water everywhere. And we're going to close up all of our nail polish. Got it, babe? Because we're now going to make the things that are going to go inside those beautiful jars you just made. So we're going to close up all of our nail polish. I am a stickler for this. Jarrett can tell you the best way to go from one project to another is to clean up the first project. It is always.
Yes, in Girl Scouts, we always say a Girl Scout leaves a place cleaner than she found it. So I love it, Michelle.
But no matter what you're doing, if you clean up as you go, it is so much easier. So that's one of the things that I love to do and I press upon my children to do. So we're going to get that first one together. We're going to move all of our pieces, the tops stay over there. We're going to move all of our pieces from that first, now that we got our jars. So while our jars are drying, the first thing we're going to make is the foot soak. So we're going to grab our ingredients for the foot soak. Jarrett, can you grab me? What we need, and if you recall from your supplies, you need your Epsom salt, which I have in a huge bag that I keep. You need your Epsom salt. You have your tea. And you have your essential oils. I need a bowl.
Natalie says that you have the best helper, Michelle.
He's fantastic. He is absolutely fantastic. Very sweet. And the scissors, babe. The scissors, I think, are over here. Okay. And then I need the 1 cup measure. So this foot soak, I think I put down that we were going to do a green tea foot soak. And the reality is you can do any kind of tea, you know, as long as it has kind of a fragrance to it. So like I said, we did this one and you'll actually see, you can see the speckles in it. That's the green tea. That's the tea that you'll see. So when you actually put it in the water and you're doing a foot soak, the water might turn a little green, and that's okay. I will tell you, we did a spa day FaceTime a couple weeks ago, and we did a foot soak. And then after it was over, I did one for myself with the foot soak that we made. My feet are still soft. So it's that time of year where we want to go to sandals, right? We're moving into that. And on top of that, no one's been able to go out to get a pedicure.
You better preach that.
So if you want to make sure to take care of those those heels, it's a great way to do it. It's also a wonderful way to kind of relax. Um, and you can put some of anything in there. You know, we did one where you can use if you want one to like invigorate your feet. If you're tired, you've been on your feet all day or something like that, you want one to invigorate your feet, use coffee grounds with the Epsom salt, will help stimulate that. So you want to take a cup of your Epsom salt. We're going to put a cup of Epsom salt in the bowl. Everybody can see. So you're going to take a cup of the Epsom salt. We're going to just close that back up for me and put that over to the side. And then I actually have, so I did that as herbal. If you have your tea, open up your tea bag. If you have loose tea, you can definitely do it with loose tea. You want probably about a half a cup. But you got a tea bag, really simple because you just take the tea bag or two. You open it up and you pour your tea in there. Now this one is a green tea, but this one has a little bit of orange to it. So, and then you can put your essential oils. If you have it, you do not need it. You take a couple of drops of essential oils. If you don't have essential oils, but you happen to have some extra extract in there, don't feel free to use that. Do a couple of drops of your essential oils. So you got everything mixed up. You can see it. I got the tea. I used one tea bag. You can use two if you really are doing a lot or you want to just make sure. I have a stir and I'm just mixing it up. The 2 tea bags is what makes it so that it's really a lot. Right now, if you are mixing, the fragrance of your tea and your essential oils should be really strong and it just should smell really, really good. So, but you just want to mix it. Get it really well combined. So I always go to the bottom of the bowl and I look, and if I see patches of white, I know I need to mix some more right there because I want to make sure I get as much of that tea mixed in and I don't have any places that it's not. And after I've mixed it up for a while, I might even put the top on and do some mixing to really get it mixed in there well, right? At that point, you have your foot soak. That's it. It's a very simple foot soak. We're going to keep it in the jar, in our container here until we're all done with everything because remember, we're going to put it in the beautiful jars we just designed for Mom. So we're going to put that to the side while our jars are still drying and we're going to clean up our mess. And then we're going to go to our next project. Now, the next one, again, I think is a great one for Mom. Jared, we're going to go to get the stuff over here, the brown sugar stuff. So I need a bowl again. This one, while it's a great one for Mom, I will tell you this. If you've been washing your hands, like I've been washing my hands and everybody in my house has been, like they're constantly telling us to wash our hands, you will notice your hands are really, really dry right about now. They hurt and they're dry. This sugar scrub is a great way to get your hands moist again. So if you want to use it after you've, washed your hands, that's a great point to say, okay, now I can go ahead and I can use the sugar scrub. I did it today. I'd washed my hands a couple of times this morning. I finally went back in. I have a sugar scrub right next to my sink where my hand soap is. Wash my hands, rub my hands around with the sugar scrub, rinse it off. My hands have been kind of soft for the rest of the day. So it's really, really helpful for especially right now while we're washing our hands a lot. So with the sugar scrub, we're going to start with our brown sugar. Open up that brown sugar and we're going to put half a cup. Well, this is a cup right here. this one, I'm gonna need those. And I might not even be able to fill the whole thing up. So let me see this half a cup one. I might do it in 2 scoops of half a cup. Half a cup of brown sugar. Get enough out. And this is not baking, so our measurement doesn't have to be super precise, but put a full cup of brown sugar in. Also, I think what you're making is enough. If you got small jars, you're gonna find you're gonna have way more than what's gonna fit in that jar. So I think I mentioned this to you, Crystal. The other great thing about this is you'll have enough left over where you can do a couple of more jars. And if you have any neighbors that are grandmas that can't get anywhere near their grandchildren right now because we're all kind of closed in, it's a great gift to give to a neighbor who can't get near their grandchildren right now. So just somebody to think about as you do it for your mom. Are there other moms right now who maybe can't be with their kids to celebrate Mother's Day? So keep others in mind while we do these things. This over here. Put this behind this. So you have your brown sugar, and then you're gonna do half a cup, quarter cup of almond oil. I have coconut oil. The good thing about the coconut oil is you don't want it completely solid because you need to have it, you need to have that liquid, but coconut oil will melt really fast. So a lot of times you can put it in the microwave for a little bit, or quite honestly, you could just leave it out. If it's warm enough, it'll melt. So, because you don't want to have it completely melted and all liquid when you use it, but you absolutely want to have it some liquid as you kind of get it together.
What are some other options besides coconut oil?
You can use olive oil. You can use almond oil if you have almond oil. So there's a lot of different, I think I have some that I do avocado oil. So there's a couple of different options, but the most common one you have in your pantry is olive oil. So, and feel free. And again, it's a quarter cup. I have found sometimes it's too much oil, so I won't put the full quarter cup in. I think this time I'm going to probably I might use the whole thing because we got a whole cup of brown sugar this time. So we're going to put that quarter cup of oil in there. You're going to mix in 1 second. But this particular sugar scrub, and just to be honest with you, Crystal, once you have your brown sugar and your oil in, you got your sugar scrub, right? Anything after that is what you want to do to make it nice for you, right? You could add some nutmeg and some pumpkin spice and put it in there, and you got a great gingerbread sugar scrub. You can put just plain vanilla in there. During the holidays, we like to do candy cane sugar scrubs. So we'll have it with white sugar instead of brown sugar, and a couple of drops of peppermint, some crushed up candy cane, that peppermint candies, and put it in there with the sugar and the oil, and you've got a candy cane sugar scrub. So there's a lot of different kinds of sugar scrubs you can do. So we're going to put in our two teaspoons of vanilla, because this one is the vanilla latte. So we're going to do 2 teaspoons of vanilla. Get 1, and then a second one. And again, it's going to be a good smelling sugar scrub. So good thing is if somebody accidentally ingests it, it's okay. It shouldn't happen, but just in case. So, and then the last thing, because this is a vanilla latte, we're going to do some coffee grinds. So again, like I said, I'm always looking for ways to recycle, reuse, upcycle something. If you guys use K-Pods, if you have a K-Cup or machine, or one of your parents, mom or dad uses K-Cups. My husband drinks coffee, I don't, but he loves his K-Cups, right? If you use them for coffee, once you use them the first time, scissors, there is still coffee grinds in the K-Cups. So if you have something that you want to use for your coffee grinds, and remember I said you can do coffee grinds in your foot soaps, you can do coffee grinds in the vanilla latte hand sugar scrub. But if you cut that K-cup open right where the hole is, you'll find there's a lot of coffee grinds left over. And you can just take those, put them in a container. I don't know if you guys can see me. Jared, want to lift that up a little bit? Can you see me? Put them in a container. You can see here, I'm just emptying them out. Look at all those coffee grinds that's still left in there. Now, it only offer with the coffee. If you use K-cups for hot chocolate, once you use it, it's done. But you'll actually have, where you can take those K-cups and you can save your coffee grinds. And then you can make them, that's garbage. And then you can use those. You'll see I've just been collecting them. Now, just as an aside, completely different. We did a craft. We do tea parties at VIParties. And we did, if you have anyone who is into Beauty and the Beast and really like Belle, there's a really neat craft where you can make your own chip from Beauty and the Beast out of the K-cups. So not only do you use them to upcycle for the coffee grinds, but you can also use them. See, here's our little chip. You can see he has his chip, he has the K-cup, but this is a little chip we made. So you can actually save these and use them for quite a bit of different things. We did a party and we did those chips and then we filled them with we had goldfish, raisins, and M&Ms. We made a little mixture and then we put them in the little chip cup and we had our own little, it was very cute. The kids were very happy. The little girl was very happy. So we're gonna take our coffee grinds, and there's a half a cup. Scoop. It was a red one. Oh, I used it, didn't I, for the sugar? So I'm gonna rinse this out. I'm good, Ben. Because we're on Facebook Live. So we're gonna take this. I'm just gonna clean this out real quick, and we're gonna take our scoop, and we're gonna take our half a cup of coffee grinds, and we're gonna mix those. I'm not going to put a full half cup because it's a lot. So I'm going to put that mixture in there together. I actually used probably a quarter cup instead of a half a cup. That's fine. So here's my mixture. I got my brown sugar. I got my coconut oil. I got my vanilla. And now we're just going to mix it up. We're going to mix it really good. Again, you want to get it really, if you feel like it's just too dry, it's not coming together, that's where you can add a little bit more oil. I'm always a firm believer of you can always add more, you can never take away. So it's always best to kind of start out with less and then add more as you need it. But this is actually not bad. It's coming together pretty good. I don't know if you guys can see, but it's starting to kind of solidify some. So you put them together, you want to mix it together really well.
I don't know why, but it just looks like chocolate and my mouth is watering right now.
Well, I'll tell you, I think we did, well, I know we did a FaceTime Pamper Me Spa Day, like I mentioned, and there's a great edible chocolate face mask that we did. It's very hard to put it on while Bailey kept trying to lick it off. But it was a lot of fun. So, and we still have those posted. If you guys want to go onto our Facebook page, you can actually see where we did a couple of different things. We've done that. We actually did a couple of stems as well. Oh, and Crystal, I know you guys shared it, but I think it's still up there, is the mystery scavenger hunt. It's still up there as well. So once you get it all mixed together, it'll kind of look like this. And I'm just going to show you just a little bit. If you take it, I don't have any water for my hands. Oh, I might use the water from over there. But if you take it, put it in your hands, rub your hands around, you'll actually start to feel that moisture because that oil, right? So the sugar is the exfoliant for your hands, right? To take off the dry skin. And the, let me use this. Let me just put my hands in some water for a minute to kind of rinse it. And the oil is to keep that moisture locked, right? So I grew up in Connecticut, which in the winter it gets really, really dry. And so growing up, you know, you always kind of learn when, if you get out the shower and immediately put some lotion on or baby oil on, it locks the moisture in for your skin. So that's what this is doing, right? That oil, when you are putting it on and then you rinse it, it's going to lock that moisture in your skin, which is why your skin will remain moist and soft for a while after you've used the sugar scrub. So now that we've got our foot soak and we've got our sugar scrub, I smell the vanilla. It's not overpowered by the coffee, which is good for me, but if you're a coffee lover, you'll want more coffee in there. So you can, again, you can put more or less of that, you know, what you want in there. Because I didn't melt completely my coconut, you'll see some white in there, and that's really the coconut oil. But that can melt, so you can, you know, and you can always make it more liquidy before you do. So our jars should be dry. Let's try the blue one first since we started with that one first, right? So you test out your jar, and nail polish dries fairly quickly, so it's dry, right? It's dry. But remember I said you might want to make it pretty, right? So we're going to clean it up a little bit. So I've got my nail polish remover back out, and I'm going to take my nail polish remover. I'm going to take another one of my cotton swabs here, and I'm just going to go along where I want to remove the nail polish. So you can see I'm taking it off of the top here. I'm cleaning it up there, and take it off of the bottom a little bit. Put a little bit more nail polish remover and take it off of the bottom. And so now I have it where I have my pretty design. And again, see, it dried really nice. So you have a pretty design on your jar. It's clean on the top, it's clean on the bottom. So it's perfect now for us to now go and get our foot soak and put it in our jar. So I got a scooper here. If you don't have a scooper, you can just kind of use it to, you know, if you have a funnel or just a spoon even, and put it into your jar. And you want to fill up your jar with your foot soak. And you get as much in as you can. Fill it up as much of the way. I got all these smells in here right now. Woo! Between the foot soak and the so we got that. So now my jar is full. I can put the top on my jar. Let's get the top for this one, right? The other one stopped. And there you have it. You have your jar, you have your foot soak. Now, that would be great if we were stopping there because we didn't have anything else to do, but this is a gift. So if we want to, if you have any old ribbon from anywhere, I went and got my Christmas ribbon. I also have some fall ribbon, but any ribbon you have, if you don't want it to seem like it's Christmas ribbon, that's why I got the silver and the red, and you know, so it's not necessarily Christmas specific. And you can then take your jar and wrap it around. We also had some bows, which might be easier for me for this one. So like I have a bow here that we made, I can just pull out. Now, the thing about it is you want to find something, like I experimented with different bows. So here's like a bow that you can put on, but you want to make sure that mom could see what you did here. So you don't want to cover your designs too much. But if you just wanted to take some of your tape my scissors have coffee grinds all over them. But take some ribbon and tie your ribbon around or tape it around, or however you want to do it. Tape it around your jar. Put your ribbon around your jar. Neat trick for if you don't know how to curl ribbon, a neat trick for curling ribbon is you take your scissors. I'll just show you here while I do it. But so you see I have the jars, it's kind of, the ribbon's long, I cut it extra long, but if I take the back part of my scissors and I just wrap it like that, pull it through, it'll curl your ribbon. You can curl your ribbon. So you have your ribbon for your jar, and then you can take an old name tag or something and put a name tag to it again from Christmas. So you can take your ribbon, you can take a name tag, you can use a bow if you want to do the bow instead of ribbon, but however you want to design it for a gift, you've got your gift. So that's the first one, and you got that one. And then we're going to fill the second one, which might be a little bit easier to fill because it's so solid. Might be harder to fill because it's so solid, actually. And we're going to, oh, I'm sorry. So this is the beauty of being at home, Crystal. Right. So if someone comes anywhere near the house, or if the kids, if people are playing outside, he goes
Right.
up crazy.
But you're essentially you want them to do the same thing with this one that they did with the last one.
That's it. You're filling it up. You're going to get it all filled up, and you'll see Jarrett was doing a little bit of cleaning off of it. But you'll see the sugar scrub. Now, what you might want to also add with this one, once you put your ribbon together and everything, is if you have, like a little wooden spoon or stirrer even. If you have like a lot of times they're little. Sometimes you'll find them at the dollar store if you have them in your house. But they're little spoons that you can do and stirrers for appetizers or different things like that. You might want to put one of those with the sugar scrub, because that way it can stay with the jar. And when you go to use it at the sink, it's a lot easier to just scoop in the jar with the little wooden spoon and use that, right? So that's the other thing I would probably put with that jar. But that's about it. Those are your two things. And you'll then have some really great Mother's Day gifts ideas. And like I said, you can, once you do your Epsom salt, anything you want to add with it at that point can get you to the foot soak. Once you do your sugar and oil, white or brown sugar, and any of those oils I mentioned, you have the base for your sugar scrub. And those two things will be really great and neat items for anyone who may want one. But it's a great Mother's Day gift.
Yay. Thank you so much, Michelle. I saw lots of great feedback. Even someone commented about using grapeseed oil in that. So we really appreciate you sharing with us today some wonderful opportunities for children all over the country, the world for that matter, to make some Mother's Day gifts. So if you don't remember, next Sunday, not this Sunday, but next Sunday is Mother's Day. Go ahead and get on making these wonderful gifts, which is very beneficial right now for all the mothers out there, because there's not enough words to say thank you. So this is a small token of appreciation can do. Thank you all for joining in. Continue to tune in with us at Girl Scouts Carolinas Peaks to Piedmont, as we have lots of opportunities for you to connect with us. Check in the comment section. I've dropped in Michelle's Facebook page as well as their website, so you can check out all the opportunities they have available. It doesn't have to stop here. They host tons of parties for you virtually. Once outside opens up again, they can do intimate parties and events and activities with you and your family members. So join in, check them out. Check out all the things they have, as well as her curriculum that they've written of opportunities that line up with our Girl Scout curriculum. So if you have badges you need some help with, you see Michelle is the extreme, I don't even have words. It's just so amazing how she took an old K-cup and made it into a crab. So check them out, and visit our website. Natalie just dropped our website in the comment section as well. www.girlscoutsp2p.org. Or maybe you're not a Girl Scout and you want to get in on this fun, visit us at www.beagirlscout.org. But thank you all again for joining in with us. Hopefully, I will see you all back again tonight at 7 p.m. for family game night for a fun round of Pictionary. Thank you all again. Love you, mean it. See ya.
Bye.